If you love Parmesan, today's recipe is for you. I'm going to show you how to make the best and the easiest Parmesan crusted chicken. Hi, my name is Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. If you're new to the channel, my sister Carrie and I are on a mission to teach real families how to eat real food at home, even on a budget. So we are so glad you're here. We hope you stick around. I have linked today's recipe, easy homemade Parmesan crusted chicken, in the description below, as well as all the utensils I'll be using to create today's recipe at home. All right, let's get started. First, preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're gonna preheat. We're gonna line a baking sheet for easy cleanup. I'm using foil today. You can use parchment paper as well. I do recommend that you line it with something because this Parmesan can kind of cook down and make the pan a bear to clean. So I would definitely line it. I generally prefer parchment paper, but I'm just out. And you guys know, like, the hardest part about eating at home is cleanup. So if you can do these little shortcuts now, you'll be more likely to eat at home more once you learn the easy shortcuts for cleanup. Okay, so that's lined. Let's get that set aside while we get our chicken ready. Now we're gonna get our dipping bowls ready. So when we dip chicken, we always say use a shallow, wide bowl. These work great. These are just my regular like salad soup bowls and they work awesome. You can also use like a small baking pan or a pie pan. Those work great for dipping items in as well. So you need two bowls. In the first bowl, we are going to melt a half a cup of butter. You guys know it's going to be good already with a half a cup of butter, right? We're going to melt that in one bowl. Now when I melt butter, again, easy cleanup tips. I like to take paper towels and put it on top, and I just heat it in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it's fully melted. While the butter is melting, let's get the batter ready. So in the other bowl, add in 1 cup Panko breadcrumbs, 2/3 cup grated Parmesan cheese. So when I say grated, I want the stuff out of the shaker bottle. I also have this in my fridge and I wanted to show you guys. This is shredded, not grated. It tastes great, but it doesn't work great for a batter on a chicken. So make sure you use the grater out of the shaker. All right, my butter sounds ready. Now we're gonna add some seasonings. First, we're gonna do a teaspoon of garlic powder. We hardly make anything without garlic around here because we love it. And then a teaspoon of salt. And then a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Also, if you're new here and you have any questions on the utensils I'm using, we always link those in the description below. So check there before you comment. If you don't see it in there, just leave a comment and we will get it for you. The butter's done. It's nice and melted. It took 2 30-second intervals in my microwave. Everyone's is different, so just watch it closely. Don't do it too much because you could burn it. So don't put it in for a minute, because if yours goes too quickly, you can burn it. Okay, the only other thing we need for this batter is some parsley. I shake it and it's all like falling apart. So I just pull the leaves off. This is fresh parsley that's already been rinsed and dried. It's ready to go. Pretty inexpensive at your grocery store. You can use Italian parsley if you prefer instead. We are going to add in 2 tablespoons. Let me tell you about this. Do not chop it up and measure it. It's a waste of time. Just eyeball it. It's not gonna affect the flavor that much if you're not exact. So I just like to pull off the leaves because I don't like the stems. That's my personal preference. Some people will take a knife like this and just pull off the leaves that way. It's completely up to you how you want to get it off. Okay, once you get your leaves though, I use this little thing. It's Alaskan cutlery. It's an herb chopper and it's great. I love it. Link below for you guys. It's a game changer. You just bunch your herbs together and then it just rocks over them and chops them up. So I do it one way and then I always turn the cutting board and I do it the other way to get it nice and chopped. You just gotta be careful that it doesn't chop your fingers. I don't think it's that sharp, but you guys know what I mean. I did a lot more than 2 tablespoons, but I wanted to show you guys all the way to get parsley off the stem easily, so it was not wasted. I do like fresh parsley in this. If you're in a pinch, you can use dried. If you use dry, I would start out with maybe 2 teaspoons because it holds a lot more when it's dried, and then adjust it from there just based on how much is in the batter. But fresh, it really gives this chicken a wow factor. Okay, nice and chopped. What I do, I just eyeball it, sprinkle it in, 2 tablespoons right in that batter. And then take a spoon and just stir that batter together to combine all the ingredients. Okay, so the IT guy says that he calls this the breading. So batter, breading, I don't know, whatever you call it, the breadcrumb mixture. So he calls the butter the batter, and then this the breading. I just meant like breading, like the breading on the chicken, but you guys know what I mean, right? Breadcrumb mixture. Okay, now we're gonna set these aside and we're gonna get our chicken breast ready. For this recipe, we are using 4 chicken breasts, and we are going to fillet these. So when I use the word fillet, I mean cut in half lengthwise. So here's your chicken. We're gonna cut it in half this way, because what makes this Parmesan crusted chicken so good is it's thin, so it cooks quickly, and it has lots of the crunchy Parmesan stuff on it. So to cut it in half lengthwise, take 1 chicken breast and lay it flat on your cutting board. Use your hand to hold it down and then run that knife sideways like this. Now, if your chicken has any extra fat or anything on it, you want to cut that off before you fillet them. We're just gonna cut it in half. Be careful at the end because it does get thinner. Don't cut yourself, friends. Y'all, if I can do this with my horrible knife skills, I know you can too. It might sound intimidating, but again, it's gonna cook quicker and it tastes better too. All right, there we go. 2 skinny chickens. So I wanted to show you another one up close because I was really intimidated to do this until I started to hold it flat with one hand and then just run your knife through it. If you have a knife sharpener, go ahead and sharpen it so the knife doesn't have to work a lot. And then just cut it straight in half lengthwise. Perfect, 2 chickens. Now it's time to get this chicken coated, but first, since I'm using foil, I'm gonna spray this with a non-stick spray so that it's easy to remove and flip. You could probably get away with not doing this with parchment paper, but with foil, I think it will stick. Okay, now it's time to coat. You wanna take your filleted chicken, dip it into the butter on both sides until it's coated with the butter. Let it drip off. And then you're going to dip it in your breadcrumb mixture, both sides, and you want to press the mixture into the chicken so that it stays on. You want quite a bit of coating. You don't want just a little bit of coating. And then you're going to take the chicken and place it on your prepared baking sheet. Okay, here's another one. Just dip it both sides in that butter. The butter is going to be our glue for the breadcrumbs. And then I just kind of spoon it on top and then press it in. You can kind of flip it, do the same thing. Press it right in to kind of really coat that chicken with the breadcrumb mixture. That looks great. We're gonna put it right onto the sheet. You want them next to each other but not touching so that the edges of the chicken gets crispy as well. So I went ahead and got a second sheet and got it prepared just because my chicken was a little bit longer than I thought and I ran out of room on the other sheet. So you can use 2 baking sheets if needed, or if you have a bigger sheet, just use that one and it'll work great. And then I just take the residual breadcrumb mixture and press it into any bare spots on the chicken because I want to use every little bit of that Parmesan and breadcrumb. So now we bake them. The oven is ready at 425. We bake these for 20 to 25 minutes. We're gonna flip them halfway through, and we just wanna make sure they're 165 internal temperature. All right, let's get these in the oven. So it's been cooking for about 10 minutes now. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the chicken. You just wanna pull it out and turn it over so that both sides gets nice and cooked and brown. And since I ended up having to do 2 pans, I'm gonna go ahead and move these. Let me turn that camera off here. I'll flip them here so that they get even cooking time on both sides. Okay, so I cooked it for about 12 more minutes on this side. It's looking brown and beautiful, but I want to check the internal temperature to make sure I don't serve my family raw chicken. So I'm using this instant read meat thermometer. You just want to stick it in the thickest part of your chicken and make sure it reads over 165. You guys, this little utensil thing is under, I think, $10 or $15 on Amazon, and I use it every day in the kitchen to make sure everything is safe. So I just wish that these chickens were a little more brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them at the top and let them cook just a little bit longer to brown up a bit, and then they'll be done. So cooking the other one for just a couple more minutes, got it nice and brown. That's the only problem about having 2 pans, is getting it to brown evenly, but otherwise it works great. Only thing left to do is serve it up. So let's talk about what to serve with. I love the chicken just as is, without any sauce or topping or anything. I think it's great. You could choose to top it with some marinara sauce if you'd like. It would kind of give it like a, I don't know, what's that called? Parmesan chicken, like you get at an Italian restaurant. It would give it that flavor. It would be delicious. You could serve it over pasta. I like serving it just as is. I usually do a pasta side with it to give it that Parmesan. You could do a butter pasta with Parmesan sprinkled on top, and then maybe some roasted broccoli, and it would be amazing. All right, it's time to give this a taste test. Perfect. The only other thing I want to tell you guys about is how to store it. Now, it is best served right away just because it's nice and crispy and crunchy. So when you store it, it does soften up that breading on it, which is totally fine. It just doesn't taste as crunchy as when you first make it. So you can refrigerate the leftovers for about 5 days. I do recommend when you reheat any leftovers, reheat it in either your air fryer or back in the oven to make it crunchy again. All right, friends, I gotta go. It's officially dinner time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in my kitchen. I hope I inspired you to make something easy and delicious at home instead of going out this week. Don't forget, I've linked this recipe in the description below. It has all of our tips and tricks in there, so you don't have to worry about writing any of it down. And also, do me a favor and like and subscribe, just because that really helps us support us. It does a lot for us and it costs you nothing, so I'd really appreciate it. And it'll make sure that you never miss any of our easy recipes. All right, guys, I got to eat some more of this chicken. Until then, enjoy. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.